Erica here with Fibers Floss Canada. Welcome back to day 10 of a Stitcher's 12 Days of Christmas. I can't believe we're almost at Christmas, and 12 days of Christmas comes by really, really quickly. I can't believe that there's only going to be 2 more episodes after this one, so I'm sad to be wrapping it up, but I'm also really thankful for the opportunity I've had to share some of these experiences with you guys and hopefully help generate a little bit more festive spirit with some of our local stitchers. So if you're new here, there's a playlist. Please make sure that you jump over and watch the very first episode, because in the description box there is a pattern that I designed called a Christmas gathering, and you can do that as a free download, so you don't want to miss that. Okay, so let's get started. I'm gonna go ahead and open your guys' Advent and see what it is today. I hope you guys are enjoying having these Advents. They're a little bit different, right? Like, they're not just stitching related, they are more about doing something festive. So I hope that's okay with you guys. Okay, so it's a prompt for day 10. It says, time to venture back outdoors. Take a garbage bag and snips with you. Forage for greens, and if you're lucky, you'll maybe even find berries as well. Upon returning home, weave your goods into a wreath to lay either indoors or outdoors, or perhaps hang on your door. You can embellish a wreath with ribbon, dried oranges, cinnamon sticks, etc. The reason why I chose a wreath making is I find it really fun and festive, and just having the smell of like fresh cedar in your home, cinnamon sticks, you can dry your oranges in the oven, and it's a really fun activity that everyone in the home can participate in. Some moms may want to just do it themselves without the kids. It's a good opportunity for that as well. Or if you have the grandkids over and you want to do something fun with them, this is a ineffective, sorry. There's no cost to doing this activity. It's literally venturing outside onto your property or a nearby park, only taking what you need, and you can make a really beautiful wreath. I have a ladies group that meets every Thursday, almost every Thursday, and every year we've done a wreath making night, and we have so much fun doing this. In the future, if this is something you'd like to do with your friends, I'll share what we do. Everybody comes together, we have festive drinks. We usually do it towards the end of November, and everybody's responsible to bring some sort of greenery to share. Almost everybody uses the metal frames, and then we just use a little bit of the green, like the flower wire. It comes on like a spool. It's like green wire. I don't know what you call it, garland wire or something maybe. And you can get it at the dollar store for like $2, and it's enough to make, I don't even know. I've used the same spool for probably 8 or 10 years, and it's still, more than half is there. And then people will also bring embellishments. So, perhaps they've gone to Michael's or the dollar store, or just dug into their bin of decorations from home. We get to fancy those up a bit. So I'm going to put in some pictures here while I'm talking of pictures that we have done this last year in November, and my wreath is still hanging on my door, and I have so much fun with it, and you get lots of compliments on the wreath, and I think it's a really cool way and festive way to kind of just get in the Christmas spirit. So I hope you guys are able to do that. If you are, take some pictures of your finished wreath, or perhaps you want to do they call it a swag. I don't know what they call it. When you take the greenery, instead of making a wreath, you kind of you gather all the ends and it all just kind of hangs down, and then you tie a ribbon at the top. I can't think of what it's called. I'll see if I can find it. I'll put the name on the screen for you guys. There's lots of opportunities of what you can do with that. So if so, share it on Instagram, use hashtag Stitchers 12 Days of Christmas so we can see what you guys have made. Okay, on to my crazy commercial Advent, which is Reflets de Soie. You guys, if you've been following along, you know how I feel about this box, but we're going to power through it. So I'm opening today, December 18th from yesterday, 18th from yesterday, and 19th, which is today. We'll go ahead and see what odd little treasures are in this. wooden white snowflakes. These, I don't know that I will use these, but I think these could be pretty cool. Like in people's finishing on pillows or that sort of thing, I could see a lot of stitchers actually appreciating this and stitching it into the corner. You know what is funny? Maybe I'll change it up a little bit and I'll show you now what I've been stitching for the last couple of days. And I say that because I went to the store looking for snowflakes to sew onto it, and maybe this might work, but I suspect they're going to be too big. So let's change it up. I've been stitching Dino hoops. I can show this. And this is by Stitch Rovia, and I got that on Etsy. The reason why I downloaded this pattern last year is because I have a couple nephews that really love dinosaurs. And then I saw Vanna Pfeiffer do a finishing of a snow globe ornament. So I'll put a picture here in case you don't know what that is. It looks super fun, and I thought, oh, I would love to do this for the littles with some dinosaurs. So let me show you what I have stitched. So the last 2 days, I worked on stitching both of these dinosaurs on a 32, I think it's a 32 count navy linen. I don't have them on a board. Here you go. Can you see them okay? Yeah. So we have a green, I think they're both T-Rexes. Maybe this one is a raptor. I don't know. I don't know my dinosaurs very well, to be honest with you. There. So this one says Christmas Tree Rex, and I put a bunch of red beads on there with some invisible floss. I did some whisper at the bottom for snow. And the reason why I did that is because when you finish as a snow globe ornament, you add these little half things. You're gonna get a glare, but you get the idea. It goes like this, and then you end up putting iridescent snowflakes in here as well, so the kids can kind of shake it around. And I think it'll look really pretty. The other one here, it says, I Raptor present for you. And I did my own color conversions for this, just using what I had. Again, there's some whisper there in the Santa hat as well as on the ground for snow. And so with this one, I was thinking, it would be fun if I had some little snowflakes, but these are gonna be way too big. But it'd be the same sort of idea, right? Where you could have some little snowflakes on your piece. It'd have to be a larger piece, but, and definitely not finishing in a round globe. But I think it could be something that people will use. I think those little, and they're little wooden snowflakes. And they're made well. Like they don't appear like someone's just kind of painted them. They are fully covered with white. So very fun. I actually appreciate that one. Okay, I do want to say with my little dinosaurs, I stitched them. You know, you have all this fabric, and I am notorious for let's get every inch out of that fabric. And I don't know why, it's not needed, right? And so they're too close together. They're gonna be kind of off-centered when I put them in the snow globes now. If I do the next size down with the globe, it's actually gonna be too small. And then, you know, the snow itself will cover half of the stitching. So it's fine, they'll just be slightly off-centered. I wasn't able to actually go ahead and start the finishing for that because I watched Vanna Pfeiffer's tutorial and I needed to order some archival board, which I didn't have. So that arrives hopefully tomorrow or the next day, and then I can get on to finishing those. So that will be really fun to do. Okay, let's go back to the 19th, which feels like, you know, cardboard. Nothing crazy. I hope I'm wrong. Someone commented they're holding out for a big finish, and I thought, oh, me too. Hopefully they can prove me wrong. More cards. This is actually a really pretty pattern. There is maybe a name at the bottom, but it's in French and I don't know how to pronounce it. So I'm not gonna try and read it. But, and there's like 5 of them. So there's not really enough to do. You know what I could do with these is kind of put them as decorations in my book of J's. Maybe that's what I'll do with these, because I don't know, I don't really have very many projects that I've stitched ever really in my life that requires, you know, 5 or less colors. very few, so I'm not sure what I would do with that. Anyways, whatever. I have December the 18th and December the 19th for my custom curated. I'll go ahead and open the 18th and see what's in this one. Okay, so this one here is called Stitcher's Lotion. I don't know if you guys have used this before, and this is an apricot and honey scent. And it is made in Iowa from Yarn Tree makes it. And I'm interested in trying it. I ended up ordering it from Traditional Stitches in Calgary. And I say Calgary, but now I'm thinking, I think it's Edmonton. I'm having a moment, but I think it's Edmonton. The reason why I've ordered this is because I think, you know, as a nurse, like my hands get so incredibly dry. Look at my hands. Can you see that? Like they're all white in here. And I think it's honestly from the days when I work, like I wash my hands 100 times easily in a day. And then, you know, I also use rubbing alcohol on that too. So after 2 days of doing that, you know, my first day off and the first couple of days, my hands are just a mess. And so I think that this will really help, you know, using any sort of like silks and stuff like that. Sometimes they'll get stuck just to like my hand. I need this, so I'm excited to try it out. Okay, December the 19th. We wash our hands so much at work, it's crazy. I could probably, you know, they tell you for every patient interaction, they want you to wash your hands or do some form of hand hygiene 7 times for every single patient that you see. So it's like before you know, touch their chart, before you enter their room, then you do patient care, and after patient care, and then when you exit the room. And I'm just like, that is insane. Like I work in emergency and I probably deal with 100 patients in my shift. There's no way you could wash your hands 700 times. Anyways, obviously it's the hand issue is a real issue for nurses this time of year, let me tell you. Okay, this is fun. So this is some linen from Traditional Stitches, and it is French Marigold by Axis Commodities. Let me just open it up here. It is a legacy linen. And oh my God. Oh my gosh, you guys. This, I forgot, is a 50, it says 53/63 count. So I don't know if that is one direction is going to be a little bit more than the other maybe, but look at this color. It is so beautiful. Can you see? There you go. That's it right there. It is so beautiful. I thought that this would be a really fun one. This was on clearance actually. So it's, the size is 18 by 26 and it was only $23 Canadian, which is, I think fairly affordable. And it's super soft. And I thought that it would be really nice to stitch like birds or flowers or something on here. So I do have a couple patterns that I would like to kit up for the new year. In the new year, not for January 1st, but for coming up for maybe the spring. So I thought that would be a good one to add to my collection. I don't have a lot of linen and I'm just trying to, you know, grow that collection, right? So I've got things I can, if I have a pattern, I can just go to my stash and kit up from there. Okay, the next thing I wanted to share with you guys is, do you remember I was working on the Spirit of Christmas by Brooks Books, and that's that 3-dimensional ornament. Her shop, Brooks Books Publishing, has a sale on, and I think it's to the end of the year. And so I ordered 2 more patterns. I ordered Spirit of Mrs. Claus, and she is done the exact same way that Spirit of Christmas is. It is a standing 3D ornament. You can stitch it as one piece, or you can stitch as multiple pieces so that it has different texture. And that's what I'm doing. So I've got that one. And these ones, they're cheap. Like right now, I think they're on sale for, I want to say like $4 a pattern, something like that. Yeah, And they're just stitched on perforated paper with DMC. So it's a pretty inexpensive thing to make. This one here is Spirit of Christmas. I can't read it backwards. Stitching Santa. Look at that. Look at his cloak. I absolutely love this. And you see his cardinal in his like wicker basket on his back. And there's like DMC floss sticking out the top. He's got his scissors, his stocking. What does that say? I love Mrs. C. Right here. That's what he's stitching. You got your candy cane rope. I think that's a really, really fun one. So she has, I would say probably 30 of these. You know, they're not specific to Christmas. She has ones for like Wizard of Oz and fairy tales, you name it. So if this is something you're interested in doing, now is a really good time to buy the patterns. I think they're 50% off. So, and I think that goes to the end of December, if I'm correct. So that's Brooks Books Publishing on Etsy. And it's just an instant download. So I highly recommend that. Okay, so my plans for the next couple days is working on my One Starry Eve by Brenda Gervais. I have, because I did have a couple days of work this week, I didn't have a lot of stitching, so I only really had time to stitch for one day, and I did a lot of work and I was able to do those 2 dinosaur ornaments. Tomorrow, or I guess tonight, I'm going to dive into Spirit of Christmas while I wait for my archival board to come so I can do some finishing. And then I can also, I'm going to have a big finishing day because I need that board too for my Sweet Dimensions ornaments as well. So I'll be finishing 5 ornaments. Yeah, so hopefully tomorrow or the day after I'll be able to work on that. Thanks so much for joining, you guys. I hope you have a lovely day, and I'll see you again in 2 days. Bye for now.